Hello there, welcome back to Tiny Zoo. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for tuning in today. And in today's episode, we are doing something a bit different actually to what I planned. I believe if you'd watched the last episode, I think I told you I was going to be building in this area over here. If you remember, in the last one we did our saltwater crocodiles here, and I was then going to build here. However, I changed my mind and I'm going to build here, and then my next enclosure will probably be in that gap. But I had an idea of what I wanted to put in here, and I just thought this area suited it a bit better for what I had in mind. So this is, as you can see, what I've started here. So the actual habitat itself is a fairly standard shape coming along here, filling in these little gaps. The animal, I can tell you, the animal is going to be the African wild dog. I really like them as animals. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that was terribly rude. Didn't mean to belch at you. I do apologise. It's just my lunch repeating on me. It just shows how incredibly unprofessional I am. Right, so the idea of what I wanted to do here, rather than just having a traditional path around the outside where people can look in, I wanted to do, obviously it's going to have to be a fake raised platform, but a raised platform nonetheless, a walkway like this, which goes all the way through. It's going to continue along here and then step down onto the path here, and then over this way it will do the same. It will step down the side of the barrier here down to ground level. So obviously if I was doing this with in-game pathways, it would look terrible. It would be so overcomplicated, and it just wouldn't work very well. But because I'm not worrying about actual people walking on it, I'm just going for what it looks like. I've created this. So this is modular at the moment. As you can see, it's just copy and paste of the same piece over and over again, and then I just move the ropes depending on where I want the people to be guided, sort of thing. So really straightforward, and then I'll do steps probably coming down here, which again will probably just be the same piece just sunken into the ground and becoming a sort of a stepped walkway. So that's my plan. Obviously there will be a bit of water in here, probably in this dark corner here, sort of shady area. I plan to make it quite overgrown again. I'll probably have some rock work. I fancy building them a sort of a rock shelter, maybe a cave, maybe just some sort of rock shelter. I'm not too sure yet. So yeah, that's where we are going in this episode. So I will crack on with that and be back in a minute with a bit more done, hopefully. Right, so our raised platform is done for now. So I did what I said basically. So this bit here, I just copied and pasted along here and then sunk it down. So it makes a nice steeped walkway. Steeped? No, that's not right. Stepped walkway, sorry. Then just continued, obviously, this fake path all the way along here. And then I've done the same over here, just bring it down there and just brought this pathway out here. The animals are in, as you can see. So we have 4 dogs, I think 2 male, 2 female in here. The slight problem that I had, unfortunately, was that they couldn't that the animals, as you can see, could walk under here, just about, as you can see. Very, very narrow, but they could at least pass through this. However, the staff traversable area, they can't walk through here. So all I had to do there was just sink the ground a bit here. So I removed 2 of these supports from this section here and just sunk the pathway. Sunk the ground to create a pathway under there for the staff. So the staff can now reach this side of the enclosure. So yeah, that's absolutely no problem at all. Just one of those little things that you have to do sometimes. And as I said, I just put in a small body of water over here, just a little pond for the animals to drink from and swim in. So there we go. That is what I have been up to so far. So only just a small update there. Did take me quite a while to actually to get all of those things in place, and now I can start working on some foliage. I think I'll get some trees in, lots of shrubs, and maybe some rock work as well. I may keep the barrier actually as it is. I know I've been generally doing custom barriers, but actually this is a perfect barrier for these animals. I would want it to be this mesh, and there really isn't any other mesh in the game to use other than this sort of barrier, so it doesn't really make sense for me to change the barrier, which is a shame because I do like the idea of doing everything custom, but sometimes it just isn't practical. It just doesn't make sense. You know, it wouldn't work to have a wooden barrier here. You wouldn't be able to see through it properly. So yeah, and the animals would eat it as well. If it was wood, they're likely to gnaw on the wood. So a metal chain link fence is absolutely perfect anyway. So yeah, there we go. Right, so I will go away now and crack on with a bit more. Right then, I have a small error to admit to. I've done it again. I accidentally recorded a save game over the top of an old save game. So I've missed out a section of the development of this habitat, unfortunately. I do apologise. I really need to stop doing that because it means that you're missing part of my process. But there we are. That's what's happened, and there's not a lot I can do about it, unfortunately. So here we are. So the barriers are, sorry, the habitat is in. We're basically done. So let me show you what's what. Well, you can see there is the habitat. So I put some of these, again, the lovely umbrella trees in, just because they really suited the environment that I wanted to create, especially with this raised walkway going through here. I thought it would be lovely to actually have these trees just overhanging this pathway, just a little bit, you know, creating a bit of a shelter. I thought that looked really nice. I did build a rock cave over here, not a complete cave, more just a shelter with some bedding inside, but I wanted it to be open at the back here. I wanted people from the pathway over here to still be able to see through. I thought it would look a bit unwelcoming if the back end of this was closed off. And it would make this a completely dead area of the habitat, which I didn't want either. So that works really nicely there. It gives them lots of shelter, but it also means that people can see in, and the animals could come right out here to this bit of shrubbery here. The raised walkway, I only changed this a small amount. There was one more of these here which lowered right down to the ground, but I thought that was a bit unnecessary. So I deleted that one, left this as a step up, and then I changed the direction of the rope here so that you enter from the front rather than the side as well. I thought that looked a bit better, and I did the same at this end as well. I deleted the last one off. I've kept the direction coming this way rather than on the side here, but I just deleted the last one off and created a bit of a bigger step to get onto that first platform. But I thought I could get away with that quite easily. So down the outside here, this is just again a very simple shrubbery, not too overfilled because I didn't want to block all of the views looking into the habitat. So as you're walking along here or sitting on these benches, you can still get glimpses inside of what's going on, and obviously the benches themselves are new in, where you can sit down and enjoy the view of whatever's in front of you. So at the moment, fields, green, and a tree. Not a lot, but one day there might be a habitat over there, you never know. A couple of these planters again in the corners here just to fill the gaps in, I thought worked nicely. And then inside, my traditional shrubbery, so I just decorated the rock a bit over here, got one of these lovely little plants sticking out the side, some basic shrubberies, another little rock formation here with a fallen log. I thought that looked pretty nice. Another little bit of rock over here, some again more shrubs here and there, plenty of enrichment in here. So you've got a pickup thing, you've got one of the large feeders here, food ball there. Over here you've got one of these scent bowls, a scent stick as well, another football for them to play with, another fallen log at the back here, a bit of decorating in the water, again all my traditional ones, my moss, my eel grass and my rocks, a couple of shrubs over here, and another little food enrichment item there, and some more shrubs covering all under here as well. So they've got a real nice mix of everything in here. They've got a nice bit of different terrain. They've got things to climb on, things to hide under, things to walk through and under. I think it's really nice. And I've left some long grass as well. You know, these dogs are used to living on the sort of savannah and the plains out in Africa, so they would be used to different types of ground. So whether it's been mud or grass or long grass, they'd be used to all of these things. Oh, dinner time, yummy. Oh, that's making me hungry. Nice. Oh, look, this one's going to go jumping. Here he goes. Oh, well done. What a clever dog. They like making them work for their food, don't they? Blimey, I'd be well annoyed if someone made me jump in the air to catch my food off of a bit of rope. Never mind. I guess that's what they're used to in the wild, isn't it? So yeah, there we go. So that's my habitat. I apologise for missing out a big segment in the middle there. Oh, actually, so there was one more thing I did, because I put this small pathway in here, and obviously the barrier came right up to it. I did add this small wooden barrier in here. It's just an extra layer of protection to stop people from touching the actual habitat barrier there. I know in real life that wouldn't quite work, but for the purposes of what we're doing here, I thought it was just fine. So yeah, I kind of like this little path. It's a sort of a little yellow brick road to follow. Yeah. Right. So there we go. That's it for today. Oh yes, and a couple of, so I keep on adding things. A couple of media things. You got one on the end there, and I did one on the end there as well. I feel like they need a bit more decorating, so I may come back and do that. I may do a whole video at some point of me just going back to what I've already done and sort of adding in more details and redoing bits that I don't like. Because inevitably as I go along, I'll look back at what I've done and think, oh yeah, I can do that bit better. You know, this I could change. I could make a nice frame for it, try and do something a bit different, like I did with the, if you remember over here with the goats, I did this small one here. So that sort of thing, potentially over here in some way. I don't know. I'm not very good at doing those small details like that. I'm not, you know, I'm creative, but I'm not very good at finding pieces that match what I want to try and do. It's quite a tricky process. So sometimes I end up just whacking these media boards on a surface like that and leaving it. But really, I ought to do better. You know, I have high standards of myself, and I feel like that is slipping below those standards a little bit. But yeah, so I may at some point come back and redo bits like that. But we shall see. For now, I am going to leave it there. So yeah, let me know what you think. I really like this habitat. I love the idea of having this walkway through the middle here. I think that looks really nice. It is a shame that in the game they wouldn't be able to use it. I really hope if we get you know, a Planet Coaster 2 or Planet Zoo 2 or just a major update, that maybe they change the pathing for the public. Similar to how the new Prehistoric Kingdom game works, where they can walk on any surface and you just have to block them off if you don't want them to walk on it. Which I can see having its own problems. I mean, for example, here they would probably just come and stand all over this flower bed, which you wouldn't want. So I kind of think they need to meet in the middle somewhere. I think it'd be really helpful if you could build stuff like this and then you could select it and there'd be an option on it. So maybe I could click on this and say there'd be a button just here, and you could click on it and say I want people to be able to walk on this, and then it works them out. It works out that people could step up there, walk along there and down there. Or the opposite of that, if I didn't want them walking on this flower bed, maybe there'd be an option like the, you know, the multi-select thing here sort of thing, where you could sort of highlight an area like this in some way. Obviously it wouldn't be quite like that, but you know what I mean, where you could highlight that space and say I don't want people to walk in this area. I think that would work really nicely. Obviously from a programming point of view, I have no idea if that's possible, but with our modern, you know, computer gaming technology, I'm sure it must be. So that would be very nice. we shall see. I mean, who knows by the time this video comes out, because I am recording this quite a lot in advance of when it will be released, they may well have done something similar. Who knows? But anyway, for now, that is it for our African wild dogs. So let me just finish on one of them because they are adorable little things. There we go. So yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching today, and I will see you in the next one, where I don't know quite what I'm doing, but actually let me tell you, it will be over here. I promise this time it will be in this gap here. Okay, there we are. So I will see you then. Take care, thank you, and goodbye.